Good afternoon, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to talk about photography. Photography and its various unknown implications, the things that come from it that people aren't commonly aware of. Yes, photography was invented. It wasn't part of the human genome. It did not evolve with humanity. It was invented fairly recently, in fact, in the human timeline. And before that, people were forced to just get by on their memories of people, to get by on experiences with people, rather than commemorating them with a photograph. So it turns out there's actually a pretty impactful phenomenon associated with photography, if you understand what I'm saying. There's a symbolic representation feature that is now part of humankind. Symbolic representation of the person. I want to start with the observation that a photograph is not a person. We're going to have to agree on this point before we can go forward. A photograph, and in fact a video, a device displaying a photograph or video, an image that is not the person. However, there's oftentimes a however, the human mind is not programmed to differentiate these things. Turns out we never evolved with photographs, like I just said. So for a lot of people, in fact the vast majority of them, the part of their brain that is activated when they meet somebody in person is the same part of the brain that's activated when they look at the photograph, which honestly is why we have photographs most of the time, for the emotional value, right? But here's the problem. The problem is people get confused. People will see a photograph and, for example, believe that they're having an intimate encounter with somebody. They'll believe that they are experiencing something with somebody, when in fact that person may not even be alive anymore. They may not have ever existed. In the case of generative photography, AI can produce photographic quality imagery now. But here's the problem. People don't understand that it's not the person. It's not a person. It's not even a human being. So this is kind of a segue to the subject of pornography. Maybe you picked up on that. Pornography is leveraging this deficiency in the human mind to be able to differentiate between photographs or videos and actual people. Leveraging the fact that people didn't evolve with this technology and have no ability, generally speaking, to prevent the same reactions, the same reflexes and instincts from being invoked when they see a photograph as when they do not. And if you need another reason to question pornography, besides the other ones that you may already be aware of, such as pornography kills love, pornography enables random mating, it represents random mating, which is unsupportable. Pornography is basically just prostitution with a camera involved. Pornography is a replacement for the real thing, and for the actor and the buyer, the consumer. And it undermines pretty much every healthy impulse and instinct for both of them, the actor and the buyer. If you need another reason, consider that the entire idea, the entire industry, and all of pornographic content that's designed, to define pornographic content, first of all, it's that which is intended to serve that purpose, arousal, and is actually used for that purpose. So the cause and effect are both pornographic. That's how you define something, by the context of it, and that's not just for pornography, but anything is defined by the context surrounding it, including the intended use and the actual effect. So if you need another reason to question it, is my point in this video. That reason is that the entire business is based on leveraging an evolutionary shortcoming where people are unable to differentiate between the picture and the real thing. Which by itself, once you understand that, should be cause for alarm. It should be cause for alarm because you're buying and selling potentially something that will drive a wedge between healthy behavior and commerce. Which turns out happens a lot, doesn't it? Not just in the realm of recreational sex or sex for entertainment. It happens throughout the commercial universe, where people are buying solutions that they could not and would not make for themselves. They outsource the design and production of things that they don't understand. They lack the wherewithal and the wisdom to use these things properly. And it's all because it's convenient, and you're told to do it. And in many cases, you're forced to do it nowadays. You have no other choice. So commerce, last thing I'll say on the subject, commerce can be good if it's good, but until it's not good, right? Until it becomes conducive to toxic behaviors, conducive to a decline in the quality of life of the workers and the consumers, it's good until it isn't, right? I think that people fail to understand the impact that technology has. I'm not just talking about photographs anymore. Technology across the board is very impactful, and you can kind of think about it in terms of degrees of separation from a natural environment, where the further away you get from it, the more problems you're going to have. It's not necessarily going to kill you off right away, but it's going to become more complicated, and there's going to be an increasing difficulty the farther you get from a natural order. It's true. It's very true. There is a natural order when people don't exist with technology. Now, granted, zero technology isn't really helpful. I'm the first to admit that I enjoy using the conveniences of modern technology, and I also like, medical technology, which is a whole different subject, but it's connected, right? Where people are living longer unnaturally at a cost. They're living longer at a cost that is coming out of the species. It's coming out of having a robust gene pool, right? And it's the same idea. There's a trade-off, isn't there? There's an unforeseen trade-off to the conveniences of instant gratification, serving the individual at the cost of the collective, which is exactly what you have with photographs every single time. I don't need you. I got this picture. And maybe that sounds callous, but that's kind of what it comes down to by some degree. It does. Reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.